Hey, did you have a train set growing up? I feel like everyone did, right? My first set was one with wooden tracks that slotted together like a puzzle, and the train had a magnet on the back to attach more carriages. Those were the days, the innocence of play as a child. Turns out there's a new VR game on track to give us a hell of a nostalgia ride. All aboard! Toy Trains is first and foremost a peaceful puzzle experience where you set the pace of play. The goal of the game is to lay down tracks so that it both passes a main, usually central building on the map, and all the residents' houses jotted around. To do this, you'll have an array of basic track shapes always at your disposal, and they'll see you through most of the challenges. You'll unlock specialised pieces one at a time as you complete each level. Each level that unlocks a specialised piece will usually have its puzzle challenged focus around the use of that piece. There are 8 different specialised track pieces, with examples including a bridge that allow you to pass over water, or a slope piece that allows your train to navigate up or down elevated parts of the map. So what's the actual challenge here? The challenge can be distilled down to a game where you have to slot set shapes into a board that can't be changed, and has set gaps for those shapes to make a loop. It sort of has a bit of a Tetris feel to it. Your pieces of the track you'll be laying, and the board is obviously the undulating terrain that you have to work around. There are 10 levels in total, with the first half being fairly easy with a nice level of challenge increase throughout. The game never gets crazy hard. The last levels had me stumped a few times, but at the end of the day, this is still meant to be, on the whole, a relaxing experience. The later levels will have you successfully build your loop to encompass the main objective building and the denizens' houses, only for it to introduce more houses that need linking to the rail network. You'll find yourself trying to work these new houses in, but ultimately having to reluctantly scrap large parts of your track to incorporate the new buildings. The little dioramas here are really quite pleasant, with little denizens going about the day, clouds that pass overhead, and an always present hot air balloon whose driver will hand out some of the story beats in little text boxes. More on the story. I didn't actually expect to be sucked into the story as much as I was here, which was a pleasant surprise. You play as a child whose parents have had to go away for a while. Each level steps forward to another time period that you've experienced while your parents are away, bringing a new emotion that is loosely represented in the level itself. This is a toy box after all, and the levels try to represent how that child would play with these toys while feeling those emotions they're going through, with the goals, the weather and the landscapes all represented as constructs through the imagination of the child as you play. This might be excitement in the early levels, and then as more and more time passes, anxiety might be represented through uses such as fires in these little diorama levels. It doesn't change the gameplay all that much, but it's more part of the art that is this story. It's a little hard to explain as it's more a subliminal feature of the storytelling, but when you click and understand what's actually happening, it's quite sincere. I don't think the younger audience will pick up on it. They will just appreciate the cool variety in levels, but I think it's a really nice artistic addition for the adults who want to jump aboard this relaxing experience. The game is a little short. It took me maybe 4 hours to complete. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, as it's priced appropriately. I'd recommend this game as a buy for fans of Little Cities, the new LEGO Bricktales, and even the charming indie title Night in the Attic that I reviewed earlier last year. Thanks for watching Goosey Goggles VR, my name's Dan. Check out this link to Night in the Attic. It's another really charming underrated indie game that's worth your time. Are you looking to increase the comfort of your VR experience? Well, I've been using VR Cover facial interfaces since the launch of the Quest 1, so I would totally recommend the brand VR Cover. VR Cover are offering you guys 10% off any of their products with the code GooseyGogglesVR. Chuck the code in at the checkout, it really helps out the channel.